Thanks for tuning in again. This week, Governor Wes Moore delivered his State of the State address, and the theme was clear. Washington may be stepping back, but Maryland is stepping up. The governor spoke directly about federal workforce cuts and the very real impact these decisions are having on Maryland families. We are home to thousands of federal employees here in Montgomery County. When federal jobs are cut, when agencies are hollowed out, it doesn't just affect Washington, it affects our neighborhoods, our small businesses, and our local economy. The governor emphasized we can't control every decision coming out of Washington, but we can use the tools in our toolbox at the state level to respond. He reflected on his first term, coming into office at a time when Maryland's economic growth had stalled and our tax base was not keeping pace. His administration focused on cutting red tape, supporting entrepreneurs, and modernizing economic development programs. That work has helped drive new business formation and nearly 100,000 new statewide jobs. The governor highlighted continued investments in public education, and our schools are beginning to show improved performance outcomes. Education is still the single strongest driver of long-term opportunity for our residents and is also a driver of economic development. On public safety, the governor pointed to declining crime trends and emphasized that sustained investment and partnership are making the difference. He also addressed energy affordability, calling on PJM to cap prices and pushing for reforms that protect ratepayers. Families are feeling the pressure of higher utility bills, and we need reliability, but we also need affordability. And finally, he spoke about immigration, pushing back on federal overreach while working in partnership with the Attorney General's office to safeguard our communities and protect vulnerable residents. Maryland is navigating serious headwinds right now. The governor's message was that we don't sit still, we respond, we adjust, we govern. And here's a clip from the governor's speech.
It's a case study on how we can use AI to make opportunity more accessible and not less accessible. Those are the three pillars. Support our workers, better serve the public, and make sure that Maryland benefits from the economic growth. AI is going to help us to grow and diversify Maryland's economy. And our focus on this new technology is part of a broader economic agenda to uplift three lighthouse industries that Maryland is uniquely positioned to win at: IT, life sciences, and aerospace and defense. And here's the thing, our strategy is working. In 3 years, we have attracted more than $10 billion in private investment to the state of Maryland. We've secured new partnerships with Microsoft to build our $1 billion Capital of Quantum initiative. South Korea's largest biotech company is building its first American manufacturing facility in the United States, here in the state of Maryland. The pharmaceutical company AstraZeneca has made the single largest private capital investment in our state's history. Their $2 billion commitment will create 2,600 jobs in Frederick and Montgomery counties.
There have been confirmed measles cases in the DMV region. Measles is not a mild illness. While the cases are not Montgomery County residents yet, it is important for everyone to be reminded that measles is one of the most contagious viruses we know. It spreads through the air when someone coughs or sneezes, and the virus can remain in the room for up to 2 hours after an infected person leaves. That means it can spread quickly, especially in places where people gather. In a region like this, connected by rail, bus, and commuting patterns, everyone should be informed and proactive in protecting their families. For most healthy adults who were vaccinated, the risk is low. But for infants, young children, pregnant women, and people with compromised immune systems, measles can be serious. It can lead to pneumonia, brain inflammation, and other complications, sometimes fatal. For parents of young children, here are a few important reminders. The MMR vaccine, measles, mumps, and rubella, is typically given in 2 doses. The first dose is recommended at 12 to 15 months of age, and the second between 4 and 6 years. 2 doses are about 97% effective at preventing measles. If your child is under 12 months old and you're planning international travel or travel to an area with an outbreak, talk to your pediatrician. In some circumstances, an early dose may be recommended. If you're unsure whether you or your child is fully vaccinated, contact your healthcare provider. Our Department of Health and Human Services can also help residents access immunization records and vaccination clinics. Be aware of symptoms. Measles usually begins with a high fever, cough, runny nose, and red eyes. A rash typically appears in a few days and starting on the face and spreading downward. If you think you or your child may have been exposed, call your healthcare provider before going to their office so they can take steps to prevent further spread. Public health depends on accurate information and a steady response. We've learned over the past several years that confusion spreads quickly, sometimes faster than viruses do. I encourage residents to rely on trusted medical guidance. That means ignoring Mr. Kennedy, stay up to date on vaccinations, and reach out to our county health officials if they have questions. Also, anyone showing symptoms should call their doctor before arriving at the clinic or an ER. This allows them time to take precautions. Our Department of Health and Human Services is working with other jurisdictions in the DMV and monitoring this closely. We will continue to provide updates as needed. Last week, the president posted a blatantly racist meme targeting the Obamas. It was later deleted, but not with an apology, and the damage was done. Additionally, he hosted a dinner with governors, but deliberately did not invite Governor Wes Moore, the nation's only black governor. We are heading into President's Day weekend, at a time when we reflect on the history of this country and the office of the presidency. We're in the middle of Black History Month. Leadership matters. Words matter. The tone set at the highest level of government shapes public discourse. Black History Month is about honoring the full story of our country, telling the truth about the struggles, the progress, the resilience, and the achievements of Black Americans who shaped our democracy, our culture, our science, and our economy. While our president and the Republican Party continued to attack diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts and attempt to whitewash our nation's history, that will not occur or be accepted by our government and the residents of Montgomery County. Montgomery County is one of the most diverse communities in the nation. We do not traffic in racial division. We do not tolerate the language that dehumanizes people. We teach our children about respect, dignity, and the contributions of leaders like President Obama and Governor Moore, whose historic elections remains meaningful to Black Americans and Marylanders. Trump's recent behavior is not a surprise. He and his father were both racist slumlords. He was a racist who took out a full-page ad to encourage the death penalty for the Central Park Five, who were eventually exonerated and found innocent. He was a racist when he incited the Birther movement against President Obama. He was a racist when he sided with neo-Nazis over protesters in Charlottesville, and when he had advocated to his Secretary of Defense that Black Lives protesters should be shot. What is different today is that this president is becoming more mentally ill and unhinged as each day goes by. Yet unlike his first term, he has now surrounded himself with so many sycophants that no one is checking his behavior. That's a problem. Lunar New Year celebrations on the bright side are taking place across Montgomery County in honor of the Year of the Horse, which symbolizes energy, determination, and resilience. Montgomery County is privileged to host one of the largest and most vibrant Asian American communities in the region, with events occurring throughout February. In Rockville, the Lunar New Year annual event at Richard Montgomery High School features cultural performances, interactive exhibits, children's activities, and traditional food. This community gathering showcases the strength and the richness of our Asian American residents. At Westfield Montgomery, in Bethesda, families can enjoy lion and dragon dances, live music, calligraphy demonstrations, and traditional arts. These performers embody generations of history and storytelling. Our libraries are also organizing Lunar New Year story times and crafting events for children, providing young residents with opportunities to learn about traditions through hands-on activities. Throughout the county, restaurants and cultural organizations are commemorating the holiday with special menus, performances, and community programs. Lunar New Year is a period for family reflection and optimism. It also presents an opportunity for all members of our community to learn about traditions that are deeply rooted within it. Wishing a Happy New Year to all those celebrating the Year of the Horse. Next week, Ramadan begins for our Muslim neighbors here in Montgomery County and around the world. Ramadan is a sacred month of fasting, prayer, charity, and reflection. From dawn to sunset, many Muslims abstain from food and drink as an act of spiritual discipline and gratitude. Each evening, families and friends gather for iftar, the meal that breaks the fast. Mosques across the county will host community iftars, prayers, and services throughout the month. Montgomery County is home to a large and diverse Muslim community. Families who are teachers, small business owners, healthcare professionals, public servants, and neighbors. Ramadan is a time of generosity. Many families increase their charitable giving during this month and volunteer to support those in need. That spirit of service strengthens our community. For residents who do not observe Ramadan, it's helpful to understand what the month entails. Fasting can be physically demanding. Students who are fasting may feel tired later in the school day. Employees who are fasting are balancing work with responsibilities with spiritual commitment. A little understanding goes a long way. If you're attending a public meeting or school event in the evening, you may see participants stepping aside briefly at sunset to break their fast. That part of the observance, it's a reminder of the discipline and faith that guide many of our neighbors during this month. As a county government, we remain committed to ensuring that all residents can practice their faith freely and safely. We continue to maintain close relationships with community leaders, and law enforcement remains attentive to protecting houses of worship. Ramadan is a time centered on patience, compassion, and generosity. Those values resonate well beyond any single faith tradition. Montgomery County works because we respect one another's traditions. We learn from one another, and we make space for every community to celebrate, reflect, and practice freely. To all who are observing Ramadan, Ramadan Mubarak, and thanks for tuning in again. I'll see you again next week, and I hope it gets a little bit warmer. That would be a nice, pleasant change, and maybe the snow will be gone.